One afternoon, Pluto listened to the other dogs in the neighborhood. One had a deep, commanding woof. Another had a sharp, energetic YP. Pluto let out a small eep. His bark felt small and unimpressive. A quiet doubt crept into his heart. He decided he needed to find a better bark, a truly great bark. He tucked his tail and set off on an adventure, determined to learn from masters. First, he found a sad-looking basset hound named Bartholomew, howling melodiously at a floating cloud. That's it, thought Pluto. He sat down, tilted his head back, and tried to howl. What came out was a squeaky, off-key whine. The basset hound just sighed deeper. Next, he approached a huge, proud German shepherd guarding the yard. The shepherd let out a ferocious, thunderous bark that made the fence posts shake. Pluto was impressed. He puffed out his chest and tried to mimic it. A tiny, breathy PFF was all he could manage. The shepherd just shook his head. Then he met a fancy poodle with a rapid-fire, high-pitched yap yap yap. It was certainly loud. Pluto tried, but his version sounded like a rusty hinge squeaking. It didn't have the same speedy rhythm. Pluto sat under a bush, his ears drooping. He was a failure. He couldn't howl, he couldn't roar, and he couldn't yap. He didn't have a bark at all. He was just Pluto-shaped silence. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the old oak tree he was under. It seemed to whisper, "Why are you trying to borrow a sound? Your true bark is already inside you. You just have to find the reason to let it out." As he pondered this, he heard a faint, frightened mewing. A tiny kitten was stuck high up in the branches of the very same tree, too scared to come down. Pluto's heart leaped into his throat. He forgot all about his bark. He was filled with a sudden, overwhelming need to help. He ran to the base of the tree and looked up, whining with concern. He saw the kitten tremble. Without thinking, without trying, a sound erupted from deep within him. It wasn't a woof, a roar, or a yap. It was a unique, earnest, and perfectly loud ARF. It was a bark of pure concern. The sound was so sincere, so full of purpose, that caught Mickey's attention from nearby. Mickey came running, saw the kitten, and quickly climbed up to rescue it. The kitten was safe. The grateful kitten rubbed against Pluto's leg, purring loudly. Mickey scratched Pluto behind the ears. "That was a great bark, Pluto. You sounded just like, well, you." Pluto finally understood. He hadn't needed a different bark. He had needed a reason to bark. His true voice wasn't about being the loudest or the scariest. It was about being genuine. His bark was meant for helping and for caring. He trotted home with Mickey, his tail wagging a happy rhythm. He didn't feel small anymore. He felt like Pluto. The next day, when a squirrel dared to enter the yard, Pluto didn't try to imitate anyone. He let out his own unique, confident ARF. The squirrel scampered away, and Pluto puffed out his chest with pride. He had found it. His inner bark wasn't a sound. It was his courage, his kindness, and his loyalty. And from that day on, whenever he barked, it was music to the ears of those who loved him just the way he was.